Good afternoon, dear beloveds. This is White Wolf, and today I wanted to talk about that healing is the awakening of the true self. Healing is the transcendence of all things. It is the transcendence of the human condition. And please share out to all the groups, and there will be some groups that I've already shared out, but I'm not going to take the time to share out because this message is just way too important. You can see these messages on YouTube. You can see MorningStar I Am Movement. Go to bitchute MorningStar I Am Movement. Also, check us out on TikTok, MorningStar 967, and please check us out on Facebook, capital M, capital M, capital Movement, rest is lowercase, and then go to Instagram, I_M_movement, the rest is lowercase. So what I wanted to talk about is that everybody is on this journey to empower themselves, to make themselves feel worthy, to make themselves feel like they belong in this world. They're trying to create their own world. They're trying to manifest their own world. They're trying to create and manifest their own peace, their own love, their own forgiveness. This is the path of grace. Healing is the path of grace. Everybody who is a light worker is trying to heal themselves and transcend the human condition, to transcend their catalyst, to transcend their reflections, to transcend their emotions, to transcend the reflections, the mirroring back of their own consciousness, to understand that they don't have to play by the rules of this illusion. And when you realize that, it's very liberating, it's very freeing, it's very healing in a sense. But everybody has a specific goal in this life. They are a reader, they are clairvoyant, they are a healer, they are a manifester, they do activations on people. Everybody allows you to see their example of who they are. And everybody who is trying to show you that you can empower yourself, that you can build the confidence, that you can build the strength, that you can build the courage to not live this life in suffering. But all healing is self-healing, and you are just the vessel of which the healing takes place. You are not taking credit for the healing. It's just the blurb of creation that just shines forth whenever you are healing. It's like the doors of heaven just come down for a second in your higher self, and it just comes out from you like a beacon of light. So what I want you to understand is that healing is everything within the spiritual journey. It is self-love, it is self-forgiveness, it is self-realization, it is self-actualization. It is the confidence that breathes from you. It is the empowerment. It is everything. It is us becoming a spiritual entity of love and light. We are becoming the oracle of love, light, and wisdom. And what does that mean? It means you are becoming God in human form. It means that you are becoming more than this finite body, more than a silly human being, more than the 3D. You are a multidimensional being. Your knowledge comes from the multiverses. And once we understand that, we understand that we are not here to heal other people, but we are showing people that they can heal themselves, that they have the medicine. They have the metaphysical medicine. They can give themselves a metaphysical baptism. And you will go through metaphysical crucibles. You will have catalysts to transcend. You will have trauma to transcend. You will have harsh reflections in this life. But once you get on the path of enlightenment, those will kind of dwindle. Those will kind of fall by the wayside, if you will. But healing is the awakening of the true self. It is the path. It is the journey within the journey. And we never get done clearing. We never get done clearing ourselves out, emptying ourselves out, letting more and more of the light in so that we can obtain something that people call spiritual mass. And once you accumulate spiritual mass, you are becoming more purified in your stance. You're becoming more purified in who you are. You're becoming more of a god, your inner god or goddess. You are becoming the inner god and the inner goddess, and you're singing your inner song. You are here to do transcendent things. But if you don't heal along the way, if you're not open to receiving, if you're not open to lay your heart bare, kneel upon your sword, it's not falling upon your sword, but it is something honorable when you kneel on your sword and be at rest. And it's time that we understand that we don't always have to fight the battle, that we're not against a war against people, but we're having a war against ourselves. We're truly going against ourselves. We're truly facing ourselves. We're seeing the darkest aspect of ourselves. We are truly facing all the things that hold us back. We are facing the things that do not represent who we are, that we're a part of the illusion, that we're part of the post-hallucination of your ascension process. It's a never-ending process of healing. Healing is when it makes or breaks you. It is when you decide that you're going to look at this thing, that you're going to look at your ego, that you're going to look at your lust, you're going to look at all of these concepts that I'm kind of depicting in your mind right now. Healing never ends. And once you understand that the journey is a never-ending process, like I was saying yesterday, we have to understand that the healing only takes place when you start to get over yourself, get over your old self, and you allow the higher self to break down the lower self. This is what I call becoming supernaturally organic. And you're kind of fluctuating through densities. But you're never going to go back. You can't go back once you're on the spiritual journey. This is all or never. This is your life. This is what it is. You were chosen for this path. No matter if you're a pastor, Buddhist, scientist, you were chosen for a specific path. But if you were chosen for this specific path, the healing is your journey. It is the way that you forgive yourself. It is the way that you love yourself. It is you realizing that the emotional guidance system is letting you know that you've been living this journey all wrong. Emotions are here to guide us. Emotions are here to bring us healing, so that we experience the emotion so many times that it gets ridiculous, redundant, and irrelevant. So what I want you guys to understand is that healing is the transcendence of all things. If you really want to condense it down, if you want to simplify it, healing is the transcendence of the human condition. It is the transcendence of you getting past the third dimension's rules and regulations. And once you realize that you don't need those rules, those regulations, those chains that bind you to living a simple life, to living a normal life, not being able to manifest, not being able to have the life of your dreams, not being able to quit your job, not being able to escape the family dynamic, realizing that you are in the search of your spiritual tribe, that's healing. If you're a therapist, you are doing something with emotional healing. You may just be doing it from the 3D, but you're bringing some emotional healing to somebody in some way, shape, or form. So what I want you guys to understand is that healing is the awakening of the true self. It is the awakening of your true nature. It is the awakening of Christ consciousness. It is the awakening of the I am, the isness, the beingness, the spacious awareness of who you really are as a soul. It is you becoming a God. It is you becoming like Jesus, like God in human form. It is you becoming the source of all things. And how can you be the source of all things if you are still not transcending this, transcending your ego, transcending your emotions, transcending your anger, your lack beliefs, your false narratives, every single thing? If you don't feel comfortable being around a person, even though they are your family and they are not on the wavelength that you are on, you don't have to stay within that paradigm. You feel like you have to stay within that paradigm, but you don't have to stay within that paradigm. You can escape that paradigm. And this goes with everything on the spiritual journey. You can be doing the same thing over and over and over again. You could be still making videos. You could still be doing this. But sometimes we're afraid to do something new because we're getting pushed into uncharted waters. We're getting pushed, and once we get pushed, it kind of creates resistance because it feels uncomfortable. But your uncomfortability is allowing you to have more growth. Us blocking our growth is not a good thing. It's called spiritual bypassing. And I don't necessarily believe in just doing shadow work because you get into a revolving door where you hit the door with your head so many times. You keep doing it. You keep lingering in the past. You keep lingering within your old self, your trauma, your past, your anger, your emotions. And does shadow work for a little bit? But sometimes it's just owning up to your shit, allowing the healing to come to you. It's really just getting over yourself. It's really making the decision that maybe I want to make a change with this today. How can I do it within the space that I have to create this? How can I change this? How can I be cultivated in this way? How can I do this? How can I do that? It is a gradual journey. It is a lot of patience. And if you have a lot of patience, you're going to come into a state where you become unshaken, you become ungraspable, you become indescribable, you become the source of all things. But healing is everything within the journey. It is everything that encompasses this spiritual journey. It is everything that makes or breaks you. It is everything that makes you cry at night. It's everything that makes you stay up at night. It is the thing that keeps you dedicated. It keeps you grounded. It keeps you with a champion spirit and knowing that you are a true, mighty superhero with superhero powers. So can you tell yourself that today? Can you tell yourself that I have superpowers, that I dictate how I feel, that I dictate who I am, that I don't have to wait any longer to become who I am, because I am whatever I say that I am. And it's like on my bracelet here. It says that fate whispers to the warrior, you better watch out for the storm. And then the warrior whispers back to fate, I am the storm. Just because people are telling you that you can't withstand the storm doesn't mean they need to watch out for you, because you are the storm. You are whatever you say you are. And if everything in your life is confirming who you are, and they are all good things, they are all wondrous things, that there are things to be proud of within this journey, then if everything is confirming what you are, then there's no need to have a rebuttal. There's no need to doubt yourself. There's no need to give into the lack beliefs, the false narratives, the negative way of thinking, because the negative way of thinking is a lie. It's a lie that we've been told. It's a lie that we have been conditioned as humans. And when we escape the human condition, it is a very liberating thing. It's a very eye-opening thing. It's a very transcendent thing. Sorry, it's getting really hot in here. It is a very eye-opening thing. It opens your eyes once you close your eyes. When you close your eyes are more wide open. And once you are open to realizing that maybe for 6 months you may cry every day, but they are not tears of joy. They are tears of you emptying out everything that has happened in your incarnations. Everything that has happened to you in your incarnations. In your past, in your future, in the present, in your past incarnations, in alternate realities, in the monad, the I am presence. There are 12 aspects of you that are going through the same spiritual experience. So you got to understand that we're always clearing, we're always transcending something, we're always emptying something out of ourselves. And if we are always emptying something out of ourselves, there's always something to be learned. There's always a new journey. There's always a new path. There's always a new way. There's always something happening every day. And there's always something to be learned. There's never a time where you're done learning, where you're done transcending something, where you're literally laying bare, laying your heart on a silver platter and kneeling upon your sword and having God's source energy give you the okay that everybody gets a shot at redemption. He puts his hand over your head, over your helm of salvation, and he says that it's okay, that you're redeemed, that you are special, that you are precious, that you are a warrior of the light. And you have to have a warrior spirit to heal everything in this journey. You have to have a warrior spirit to transcend everything on this journey, because if you don't, it's not for the faint-hearted. And I know MorningStar has said that quite a bit of times, and there's a lot of truth in that, because this can't be for the faint-hearted. It can't be for the weak. It can't be for the people that are just going to give up. And God would not have handpicked you into the awakening draft. You know how they have an NFL draft, they have a sports draft, and you may not be the number 1 pick. You may not be the 5th pick. You may not be the 10th pick. You may not be the 20th pick. But you are the 510th pick. And that's as special as having the number 1 pick. Some of the greatest sports players ever didn't get drafted in the first round. So don't let anybody tell you, just because you got drafted a millionth and 10th pick. I know I probably said that wrong. Sorry, I gotta close this. Sorry, I probably said that wrong. But you get my point. Your time is now. The time that you want to heal everything of the human condition is now. You just gotta breathe. You gotta take a moment of clarity and realize that no matter how many times that you fail, no matter how many times circumstances reflect to you that you are not loved, you are loved. You have always been loved. Everything that negatively that has ever happened to you was for your highest good. Suffering. Some of us have really suffered in this life. A lot of light workers have suffered in this life. They have suffered in this life because it made them stronger. They went through absolute hell to get to where they are today. They went through the grimy parts of their life. They went through the abuse. They went through the sexual abuse. They went through these even seizures. It could be a whole multitude of things, and I'm talking about myself as well. So we all go through certain catalysts. We all have certain reflections. But we got to realize that God has had his hands all over your life. It may not be your time today, it may not be your time tomorrow, but your time is right now. It's not in the future, and it's not in the past. It's right here, ever present, always here. It's always here. Your time is now, and you are the storm, and you are whatever you say that you are. And you got to realize that the signs and the confirmations are telling you today that you are healed, that you are renewed, that you are restored, that this is your redemption story, and you're dividing and conquering. So, healing is everything in the spiritual journey. It's everything on the spiritual path. It's everything about you. Because healing is everything. It's self-love, it's self-realization, it's self-empowerment, it's self-actualization. It is the I am. It is love. It is peace. It is tranquility. It is authenticity. Because once you realize that you have a voice for the voiceless, once you realize that you are the voice that is moving mountains, that is changing a nation, that is changing someone's life today, that you are a mighty warrior, that you are the I am in its most perfected state. But healing is the awakening and ascension process, and it's a never-ending process. You're never going to get done healing, because there's always something that you're doing wrong. And it's not necessarily that you're doing wrong, it's just the way that we've been conditioned by the human race. I don't really believe that there's a right or wrong way to go about the spiritual journey, but you got to understand that everything that never felt good in your life, Everything that's never felt good or resonated with you was not meant for you. Rather, it was with your family, rather with your friends, rather with an old partner. There's a reason that things happen. There's a reason why we're pushed away from people in life. There's a reason why we are called to the spiritual path, because it is a calling of its own. It is your calling. It's what you're being called to. But are you going to answer that said call? Are you going to answer the call in your life? Are you going to heal everything that makes you human and stop living like a human? So without further ado, I'm going to open the door because it's really, 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 really hot. I'm sweating really bad. So without further ado, I'm going to do some healing. It's Super Mudra energy. I was bestowed this by Can Twang, and if he is watching right now, God bless you, because he allowed me to find my own signature. So what I want you guys to do, and if you want to close your eyes, if you want to do this with me, you can move your hands all around, and you can rub your fingertips. You can do all kinds of hand motions with Stupa Mudra energy. It doesn't matter. It's a lot like Kundalini energy, but it's what the Buddhists use. And I will be showing you all this. So accept this healing within your soul, or accept this healing within your being, and get to a calm place in your mind, and visualize all the things that you want healed, and cleanse them now. And check in with your Heavenly Father, and know that however you perceive God, here and now, that they are proud of you, that they love you, that they cherish you, that you are a child of the light, and you are the storm, and you're being called to wash away the human condition today. Forgive yourself, love yourself, pray over people, pray over yourself, forgive yourself, love yourself, be authentic towards yourself. Embrace your true self, and don't surround yourself with anybody who doesn't embrace the true self. It does not serve you. It is not building you up. It's not holding you in the highest light of your glory. And it's not helping you grow. You feel your chakras all in alignment. You'll feel like that you will have a specific area in your life that you have healed, that you have transcended, that doesn't bother you. Rather it is emotional, rather it is something from a past incarnation, rather it is something that has been troubling you for quite some time. Rather, it is something that you want to keep to yourself, but it's okay. Take some big deep breaths in and out. Take a deep breath in and out, and slowly come back. And as you're coming back, I want you to keep the same frequency. I want you to keep the same energy. I want you to try to stay in this state for at least an hour, however long you can feel this bliss, this ecstasy, this radiance that is our true nature, that makes us of the same nature. And when I snap my fingers, you'll come back to. You have a greater sense of clarity. You will know who you are. You will understand that this life is a living testament of your soul, of who you are and who you want to be. And just start confirming what you are and what you want to be. And that you get the choice. That this is your redemption story. That this is the first page of your new chapter of your life. Take one last deep breath, dear beloveds. Thank you all for tuning in to this live broadcast, and it will also be on YouTube. That is MorningStar, I am movement, I capital space M capital space M movement. The rest is lowercase. The same thing with Facebook as well. Go to Instagram, I_M_movement, all lowercase, and please go to bitchute MorningStar I am movement, and check us out on TikTok. I believe it's MorningStar 967. And please go to Divine Ray and check us out. It's MorningStar and White Wolf. So without further ado, I'm going to end this broadcast and post it on YouTube and BitChute. If you missed it, rewatch it. The energy is still the same. So without further ado, this is White Wolf. I will be signing off, and so it is. And I hope that you all have a lovely, absolutely lovely day.